ahead, the British Prime Minister resorted to her extra special relationship with Ronald Reagan.
It was our understanding that Maggie called her friend Ronnie and said, we wouldn't take it very kindly if you indicted our national airline or its executives, and that might very much complicate general airline negotiations between the two countries.
On one level, it almost doesn't matter whether the president believes that the prime minister's concerns are well-founded or not. On one level, all that matters is he knows that she's very upset.
Thatcher was so upset she threatened to withdraw her support from Reagan in the upcoming SALT talks. The president needed her support for his controversial Star Wars initiative.
The president was scheduled to meet with Mrs. Thatcher at Camp David in December, and they were scheduled to have important discussions leading up to the resumption of SALT talks with the Soviet Union in early 1985. And so we presume that when the president was weighing, on the one hand, the law enforcement interests, and on the other hand, the important issues of strategic arms limitation talks with the Soviets and national security and national defense issues, that the president elected to pursue the national security side of the ledger and not put any of that in jeopardy, and therefore he elected to dismiss the grand jury.
The American press reported the president's decision, but Thatcher's personal intervention was not revealed.
In the 200 years of the history of America, no sitting president has ever interfered with the workings of the criminal justice system. When Richard Nixon tried it, he was virtually impeached. You don't do that.
I always thought that Maggie Thatcher was in Freddie's corner. She always seemed a friend, you know, and her hands were tied. But that she would... Is this really true that we know this for a fact, that she actually did this? Incredible. Really incredible.
I find it quite unbelievable that her public face can be so different from her private face. With the cancellation of that, of the Justice Department's investigation, she killed any chance of Sir Freddie getting back into business. She killed the total concept of Skytrain. She killed competition. She killed something that she always purported to be a champion of. I'm not sure I would ever believe anything she said again.
Just as it's thanks to Freddie Laker that you can cross the Atlantic for so much less than it would have cost you in the early 1970s. Competition works.
Frankly, it stinks. What can one say? I mean, it's done every day in politics. It's unfair, it's unreasonable, and is against any form of natural justice. It should not be done. And the people that do it are wrong. And they're a bad recommendation to our kids. It's political dishonesty, and I don't like it.
I always had a pretty good relationship with Mrs. Thatcher and her husband in particular. I thought they were pretty nice people. I always assumed that she was a supporter, not only of Freddie Laker, but of free enterprise, and wanted to see business moving.
Well, the intervention was crucial to her if she wanted to try and put a spanner in the works as regards keeping British Airways alive and solvent. Because if everything had gone against it in the antitrust case and our case, triple damages were awarded, and one might have seen British Airways virtually destroyed.
And you can't privatise a bankrupt company?
It hasn't been done yet.
If you were prepared to suppose that if the investigation had gone forward and an indictment had been brought, there would have been no SALT treaty, then you can say, well, justice might have been denied Freddie Laker, but it was certainly advanced in the case of humanity.
Laker Airways making a difference. Here they come.
Sir Freddie Laker is still flying. 3 planes make up Laker Airways Bahamas, ferrying American holidaymakers and gamblers to the Caribbean.
People that are making the difference. Please keep it up. I promised I was going to retire. I said I have, from the retired club.
I admire your resilience.
No, they call me Mr. Dunlop. Whatever it is, it's working.
In August 1985, 9 months after the criminal investigation was cancelled and after a series of legal feuds, BA offered Laker $8 million to drop his claims against them. Their priority was to get BA sold off. The deal was finally concluded at a meeting with BA's chief executive, Colin Marshall.
There were a set of proposals on the table which were negotiated by Freddie, and I won't say by Colin Marshall because from time to time he